I'll tell you what, I'm just going to try to do this and see if I can do it. It was working a few minutes ago, and then when I started the camera rolling, I had a terrible take. So I'm just going to try to see if I can get some good examples on the ground, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing. And if I can't do it, I don't have to waste my breath. What is this? 8? Oh boy. I've got 8. That's not bad. I want it on the ground. That's too far to third. That's much better. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Oh yeah, that turned out a lot better than after I got through fumbling my bat around. I was trying to get the ball between the pitcher's mound and the third baseman. I don't want them going to the third baseman at all. I want him taken out of the play. I don't care if they go toward the shortstop, because what I'm doing, I'm not even faking a bunt here. I'm getting ready as I normally would. I got my hands spread and I'm choking up as Speaker and Cobb and a lot of dead ball players would. But then when I'm loading up to hit, I take a running step toward first base, and both of my hands are sliding down on the end. In fact, my top hand barely has the handle at all, and my bottom hand is actually just gripping the knob here. Literally, there are fingers wrapped around the knob. I'm holding this bat very, very loosely, in other words, and maybe one of the most important things is that as I run out of the box, I'm trailing the handle. If I let the handle get even with me, or heaven forbid in front of me, the ball is likely to go to the pitcher directly or to first base. Now that would be more like a drag bunt, and I'll try to show some of those later, but that's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to hit it weakly, hence the one hand that's down on the very end of the bat, and that's going to make such weak contact that even if the ball doesn't go on the ground, a couple of those hit the barrel and were up in the air, but I'm sure that a real baseball, if it were struck that way, it's not going to make it anywhere near to the shortstop. It's going to, the hold is so loose that it's going to hit the grass and die. I don't think the shortstop's going to have any play. So that would be a bunt for a base hit. Okay? That's what you're trying to do. You're actually wanting to get on first base, especially if the infield is playing kind of deep. I suppose you could do it with a runner on second that you're trying to advance, and I think it would be more risky with a guy on first because there's things that could go wrong unless you're really good at it. But let me see if I can get a few more of those down. Again, I'm using these little golf ball sized wiffle balls, and one of the things that I'm somewhat insecure about here is I don't know how an actual baseball would behave with respect to these. I'm thinking it would probably be more cooperative, because sometimes these things, it's, you know, they really hop off the bat, and I think a real baseball might actually deaden a little better. But I'm not sure, especially since so many of you are using metal bats. You might really have to work on fine-tuning this. But it's just, you know, from a historical perspective, I think it's kind of interesting. I think it works. I think it describes the kind of thing that I've read about Ty Cobb doing. So let me try, what have I got? I'll try 8 more. And I'll be happy if I can get 2 more down. Come on. Okay, there's... Oh, he's coming at me early. that's right back at the pitcher. It's not hard enough. That's much better. Nope, don't want to drag it. That's better. That's not bad. That's going to get down. One more, I think. Is that it? You know what? He's holding out on me. There'll be another one coming past me just a second. But the other thing, couple of other things about this. One is that you guys will not have a 35-inch bat. And boy, is this sort of thing, especially when you're almost throwing the bat out there. You're leaving for first and you're dragging the barrel behind you. And so you're wanting to almost put as much distance between you and the outside of the plate as you can. You just barely have enough to reach back there and hit the ball off the tip of the bat. Well, if you got 32 inches in your hands, that's going to be a little harder to do, I think. And something tells me it may not have the same deadening effect. I don't know why. I'm not a physicist, but I'd rather have more bat in my hands. The last thing is about this that occurs to me is that I just wonder what umpires would say about it. If you do that with 2 strikes and it goes foul, are they going to call that a bunt? Because it's really not. You didn't square up. You didn't shorten up. You actually went down on the end of the handle in a way that you wouldn't normally do. But I don't know if you could talk to the umpire before the game and just kind of explain to him what you're planning to do, or I don't know how umpires today would react to that. But maybe that's something that you should do before you get to 2 strikes, honestly, because I wouldn't want to count on the umpires calling that a foul ball if you do it with 2 strikes and it goes back there. We love the umpires, but they don't know anything about dead ball, I'm afraid. And one other thing, I'm going to hope that I can splice this onto the previous video. I forgot to squeeze this in, but you want to be able to, of course, get the ball between the mound and the pitcher, but it doesn't matter if you get it almost on the mound, because you're probably not going to do this against a lefty. You're going to do it against a righty who's falling off the mound, so he's going to be over there somewhere. As long as you get it hard enough to go past the mound, if it scoots barely past the dirt of the mound on the left side, that's going to be good enough. Pitcher's not going to be able to, do 180 and chase that down and then stand up and throw you out. So you just, it can be close to the mound. It can be close to the mound. We just don't want it too close to the third baseman. Okay, that gives you a little more flexibility.